welcome to the White's Take DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined once again by my two basketball buddies, as I like to call them over here. We got CashinDFS. You can find them on Twitter at CashinDFS. Cash, how we doing today?
Hey, I feel good.
You look like you feel good, man. You're literally looking for something.
Feel good.
But you look like you feel good, though. You literally feel good about whatever you're looking for.
I just warned the listeners, like, I'm a little bit drunk right now, like a little bit.
That's disclosure right there. That means we can't get in trouble because we disclosed that.
No. I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna curse this week. Last week I didn't know it was live on YouTube. Like, I thought it was for paid subscribers.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm just saying, though, like, I feel like the way business runs nowadays is like if you put a disclosure on something, then you're covered, right? Like McDonald's got sued for somebody dropping hot coffee on themselves, and they didn't have a label warning them it was too hot. So what they do, they put a label. This coffee is hot, and they're good. If you burn yourself, it's on you. It's on you at that point. So yeah, we gave the disclosure. We're also joined here by one of the White's Take OGs, my boy Paulie D. You can find him on Twitter at Paulie D. That's 8 D's. Paulie, how we doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Sweating hoops. I'm in the top 50 now in that NBA preseason. Last day of the preseason. Got my right eye on the Yankees. They're down 2-0, end of the 7th. But I think we got to come back in the works. Maybe we can really get Josh fired up when they come back. If Gary Sanchez or Aaron Judge hits a 2 or 3 run home run in the next 20, 30 minutes, the nation will know.
Oh, they'll know. They'll know.
Yeah. It's the funniest thing ever, man. Like, I know I keep talking about it every time I'm doing a show with you guys, but it's just like, obviously Paulie's a Yankee fan. We all know that. But like, Cash is not like, he just doesn't like the Yankees. It's like he has a dislike for the Yankees more than he has a favorite team. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
No. It is a pure hatred. Like, it runs deep. Like, it runs deep. It's hatred.
Oh man, it's so funny too because I feel like for a second Cash forgot all about like the fact that you're a Yankee fan, Paulie, because it was all lax and cool. And the minute you brought the game up, he's got the fingers flying.
But I tell you, my goal was for the show is to get Josh fired up.
Yeah.
But me and Paulie discussed it. Like, Paulie knows why. Like,
yeah, I get it.
It's because back in the day, like, it's not a recent thing.
Yeah.
And I root for them because I play them in DFS. Like, DFS has totally hurt my sports fandom, except 2 teams, like I've already said many times. But yeah, I hate the Yankees with an extreme passion, and it will never go away. Never. It will never go away. It's always will be there.
Extreme passion.
Extreme passion.
Capital. You can cap that. It's extreme.
Oh my god, man, that is funny. That's good stuff though. But it's things like that keep the game going, man. That's what it is about sports, man. It's things like that keep like the sports alive and keep people fans, bro. Like,
and let's be real, like, no matter how much you want to hate the Yankees, you gotta respect them right now for beating the Yankees. What they're doing.
I respect the hell out of them because their best player, Aaron Judge, didn't do nothing. Like, he was terrible, and they still won, which. I still don't even understand, like, how do you let them come back when Aaron Judge ain't even doing nothing? It was the pitching. Like, I don't know what happened to Kluber. Like, he all of a sudden became, like, Harvey or something. I don't know.
Choked.
He choked. He definitely did. But I'm going to make a little shift here towards a little bit of basketball. Josh, I just saw the Lakers jersey. I just noticed, and I was like, oh, yeah, there we go. Basketball. That's what we're here for. So I wanted to ask you guys. There it is. Lakers 32. There you go. For those of you who are listening only. You asking me or you asking the nation?
Magic Johnson.
Magic
That's
Johnson.
my guess.
I mean, I was like, you asking me?
The man.
The man. That's who that is. That is the man. Yeah. 100% agree with that. So anyway, first off, how you guys doing a preseason? I know like I was late to the preseason party. I don't know about you guys, but I was like, I didn't even consider the fact that the preseason is now shorter. which means that the stars don't have as much games to play 10 minutes each in. They kind of got to get it in these preseason games. So, like, I hopped on board, man, like the Wise Take chat, you know, the staff chat anyway, man. We've been talking a little bit about it. I've been seeing the updates and all that. So, Cash, I'm going to have you go first just to change things up a little bit. How is your preseason going?
Well, I mean, I haven't played much. Like, I played the first few days, and I wasn't doing no research at all. And then I came back, I don't know, a few days ago, and I actually looked at who was going to play, and I binked one. Like, I binked a mini. I mean, it's only a mini, but turning $3 into $100, you can never complain about that. So
yeah, no. You can't complain about that. And that was on a correction, too, right? There's been a ton of corrections.
I was second, and then they did a stat correction. Yeah, because the preseason, they don't have official stats. But they did a stat correction, and I went to first. So, I mean, I was happy about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've seen a lot of stat corrections.
Yes, I tweeted it out. I'm like, okay, I see an owl up top. And then, like, an hour later, I looked again. I was like, but damn, I see an owl all the way up top. It was very funny. Up one spot.
It was very funny because, like, in the staff chat, I saw you say owl almost up top. And then I saw the post. I was like, okay, you got second in preseason, not bad. And then I woke up in the morning and I see the owl made it up top. And then I'm like, okay, cool, man.
It was only by 0.2. I was only out by 0.2, and then they stat corrected, and I won by like a point.
Paulie, how is your preseason going, man?
You know, it's been up and down. There's a lot of landmines in preseason. You know, guys get scratched that you thought were going to play. They don't have the late swap going in the preseason. A couple times I thought I was going to take stuff down, and then, like, you know, all of a sudden some guy plays like 40 minutes that was 6% owned that I never heard of, and, you know, 9 teams go by me. But overall it was profitable, and you know, it was fun, and I feel like it got me a jump on the regular season. I'm really pumped for next week. You know, like just today we made our first cheat sheet. We called out a bunch of the good like 7X guys, so good sign. I'm really I feel like more locked in than I've ever been for a basketball season, and I think that can't hurt.
Yo, those cheat sheets were awesome, and this is something that Paulie's going to be doing Monday through Friday for our premium subscribers. Phenomenal cheat sheet. I used it today to make a lineup, man. I played 2 guys I never heard of, and I told you, Paulie, I didn't have a chance. Today was, you know, we got with everything kicking up back next week. I have to take these next few days, do football, and obviously balance my you know, get all my real life stuff done. And so I played a couple of those names I never heard of, man. 2%, and for their $3K price, dude, like was it 7X? I think we were talking about. Phenomenal job, man. Those cheat sheets were awesome. We put that out for free today. It was the last preseason day, so we did put it out. It was kind of last minute, but we made a push to try to get it out to as many people as possible. If you guys got a chance to use it, hopefully you did. I'm sure you got some good takes from it, man, because extremely useful to me. So that's something I look forward to. Josh, you wrote an article, I think it was a week and a half or so ago, that you pointed out all the, we touched on it in the last show, but you pointed out all the big changes from each team. So between all this stuff, man, and then getting some preseason action, and like you said, Paulie, I definitely feel like I am much more prepared for this NBA season. Because, like, it's always tough because, like, we all love football, obviously. I know Josh, for Josh, NBA is life. I know. For Cash, NBA is life. He's made that clear. So, but, like, you know, I like football a lot. We know Joe doesn't even play basketball. He's a football guy. Paulie, as much as you like basketball and are good at basketball DFS, you like football. Football is, you know, we all love football. So, like, I feel like sometimes it takes me a while, like, to get back into it. It takes me a couple weeks, like, oh, yeah, you make a couple rookie mistakes, shake the rust off. But I got to say, man, with the way the preseason format's been, I'm ready, man. Like, I feel like I'm ready. What do you think, Cash?
Oh, like I told you the other day, like, I'll sit back and just think of NBA starting and just get butterflies in my stomach, like I'm going down a roller coaster. Like, it is everything to me. Like, it is my life. Like, I love basketball like I love my kids. Anybody that has kids, they understand. Like, I got 4 kids. I love NBA basketball like I love my kids. Like, it means everything to me. It is my life. Like, without it, I wouldn't be happy. Like, it's just everything to me. My worst day of the year is when the champion is crowned. My best day of the year is when training camp starts.
I love it, man. That's passion right there. Paulie, how has your experience been with the like what's your take? Like, obviously you mentioned already that you do feel like a little more prepared. Do you think the shortened preseason had to do something with that, or is it like a combination of things? Like what do you think it is?
Well, I mean, this NBA offseason had the most impactful players changing locations, like, by far. So with all that changing, like, having a preseason that was mostly the star players playing for the most part, like, you got to get a feel for what these teams are going to look like. When it used to be a month long, you really only saw, like, like 3 games maybe at the very end where they finally all played, and, like, we really saw, like, I mean, the Detroit Pistons have their starters in right now. It's about to be a tie game at the end of the fourth quarter. Like, I'm curious if these guys are going to play in overtime. Like, I've never seen that before. So it was definitely, cool that they shortened it. Number one, it was just way too long. And number two, I think it just made these guys have to get right to work instead of, like, slowly, like, pacing into it. So I really liked it. I hope they continue it. And, my biggest concern now is late swap. I'm a little confused. FanDuel put out, like, their, opening day tournaments. And, all the talk in the offseason was FanDuel was doing late swap. But it's like their B tournaments, like their main, like, large GPPs are all non-late swap. And then they have, like, a handful of 20s that are late swap. And I'm just so upset about that. And I'm curious if that's going to hold or if they're going to change. No one really knows right now, but I really, really hope that we have late swap on one of the 2 sites.
Yeah, no, for sure. Either way, you can assure that the Wise Take Nation will be covered. We'll do what we got to do. The Wise streams are still going to continue at the same time and at the same time, but we're going to make sure to have at least somebody or a couple people in the chat during those crucial minutes before lock, because we know on DraftKings they're not doing it regardless. So if you're playing DraftKings, you're dealing with that late swap. So we're hoping that FanDuel comes around. I thought it was strange too, Paulie, how they had the main slate without it, and then they had the secondary, like, the little annoying stepbrother, whatever you want to call it, slate with the minimal tournaments. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was just, like, weird, especially after, like, allowing it to kind of reach public that they were going to have it. Like, it's like kind of, I don't know, you're disappointed. Like, oh, they're going to have it. Great. You can read an article, and then it comes out, and it's like, well, they do technically have it, but it's not.
Yeah, really, it's not the tournaments that you really want to play in.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's slick. Weird. That was a slick move. Not a nice one.
It's going to change, though.
Yeah, I think it will, too. I think supply and demand will take over.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the season, it's not as big of a thing. Like, you don't need it as much. Mm-hmm. But once once we get close to the All-Star break, and for sure after the All-Star break, these guys are going to start resting. And when somebody is very popular, like a East Coast team on the West Coast, and they're popular, and they sit, it's not going to be fun on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Twitter's going to blow up like it has for years now. So it's going to change. I eventually think that, I'm angry at what I've seen from the late swap slates as far as the tournaments, but I think it will change. It will. Yeah.
No,
I
another totally thing, agree.
DK is gonna have late swap too. Like my boy BK, I know he's watching. Maybe not live, but he's gonna watch. My boy, he told me that DK is gonna have late swap too eventually. Later on in the year, they're gonna have late swap too. So that's a good thing. Yeah,
that's good.
At least that's what at least that's what's being said. I have something to say. Like, I have a little rant. Like,
I want to hear this. I've been waiting for this.
Yes.
Like, the NBA, they want to be a part of DFS, right? Like, they want to be a part of fantasy, right?
Yep.
And that's why FanDuel is switching over to what the NBA wants as 3-point steals, 3-point blocks. Okay, I have a thing. I hope the NBA. Let me look into this camera. NBA, please listen. If you want to be a part of fantasy, you need to have regulations. We need to have who is going to be in or who is going to be out by 5, 6 o'clock before lock. We need to know. The teams know. You can't tell me that a team doesn't know or they're going to rest guys at morning shoot around. They know. It needs to be regulated on who is going to suit up and who is not by a certain time before lock. Please listen. This is the biggest thing in this industry. Like, the NBA, it's a great game. But when you have guys that are playing at 10 o'clock at night and they don't announce till 9:50 on the East Coast that they're going to sit, Like it needs to be regulated. Like you need to tell the teams to put out who is going to be able to go. Like not even necessarily your starting lineup. Who is going to suit up and who is not going to suit up for this day. Period. I mean, how can you be a part of fantasy, but you just let the teams just do what they wish? It won't even be known. Like last year with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose wasn't even with the team. Dude was back home in Chicago, and I had him that day. I didn't play much Derrick Rose, but that day he was a perfect player. And he was not even with the fucking team. And there was nobody knew. He wasn't even with the team. Nobody knew. I mean, NBA, get on your fucking game. Oh, I mean, I curse. NBA, get on your game. Like, let's get some regulations, please.
Yep. No, he's totally right. And like we've seen some of the beat reporters kind of jump on the bandwagon and like make a point to support the DFS industry, and we really appreciate that. And like it's one of my favorite touts, Rat Dad. He's I think he's still with Guru Elite. He used to always joke like, I want to play Anthony Davis, but I don't know if he's going to slip on a juice box coming out for pregame and get scratched. And it's so true. Like, it's hard to play expensive guys that are on the later games, because if they don't play, your night's over and you just wasted a bunch of money.
Yeah, I'm glad you love Rat Dad too, Paulie. I love Rat Dad. I love him.
That was passion that you guys just listened to. I just want the nation to know that what you just listened to right there from Josh, that was passion right there. You know what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, even from like a gamesmanship strategy, it's like still stupid. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I get that, like. But to me, it's just like, it's not worth it. If anything, I think football is a sport where it makes more sense gamesmanship wise, right? Like, you don't know what's going on all week. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Like, you've been preparing all week for this. But in basketball, get over it. You probably have a game tomorrow. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's 86 games, man. So I'm with you guys on that. So
but I like that the NBA wants to be a part of fantasy. That's good, and you should, because phenomenal. Yeah, I said before, like nobody's watching games like. Say the Browns are playing,
the Giants.
Colts.
Yeah. The Browns are playing the Colts. That's perfect. The Giants have a big fan base.
I said the Giants. I was like, man, Paulie's feeling salty about his team right now.
Like, the Browns are playing the Colts. Nobody is watching that game unless you're from Cleveland or Indianapolis or Indiana. Right. Say you're from Ohio or Indiana. Nobody's watching that game, but fantasy makes you watch that game. So if you want to be a part of fantasy NBA, let's get some regulations, please. I beg you.
You know who was watching that game? Please. You know who was watching that Colts and Cleveland game? My man Cash. You know why? Because he went all the F-in on Kaiser and Brissett. All right, guys. So the next thing I want to talk to y'all about, I just want to go position by position. I want to talk a little bit. So first, I want you guys to tell me some of the guys that you love from each position, right? We're going to go point guard, shooting guard, etc. So tell me about some of the guys that you really like coming into the season, and that you have your eye on as we start the regular season. And then I want you to tell me maybe some of the guys that you're concerned about. Maybe you're concerned that they're going to be too expensive to start. Maybe you're concerned that their usage is going to be the same or that their play is deteriorating. So I'm going to start off with Paulie. I'm going to switch it back to you because we know Josh is going to bring that passion, and I don't want to have to make you follow up a CashinDFS. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't have you follow that up, my man, because like my man's late. Me and Paulie kind of laid back. Josh is passionate. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to follow that. So Paulie, you go first. Talk about some point guards. Tell me about some of the guys that you really like or love, and then tell me about some of the guys you're a little concerned about. You think maybe you're going to pump the brakes on to start the season.
All right, so I'll start with guys I love. No surprise to either of you, but Kyrie Irving is the top point guard I got my eye on. I think his role in this Boston team, this completely new Boston team, is going to be similar to the Russell Westbrook of last season role. He's he wanted to be the man, and now he's on a team with a bunch of kind of role players that are good and solid, and he's going to be expected to kind of carry them, similar to the way Isaiah did. But Kyrie's just that much more explosive, and when he gets it going, I think he's early on in the year he's going to be priced around $8K, and by midseason he's going to be one of the most expensive point guards, 10, 11K, and the first few weeks we're going to get him at a tremendous value. He didn't play a ton of minutes in the preseason, but the 3 games that I saw him play, he led the team in scoring, shot attempts, assists. Like, the usage is way up on this guy, and I really hope that they miss and price him even lower than that, because we'll be all over that. After that, Mike Conley is a guy that I just always loved. He's always underpriced, and you know, the Memphis got rid of Randolph, and I think that they're going to look to move the ball a little bit more this year. And I think that just fits Mike Conley perfectly. And, you know, he's just like a usage king on that team. And then in the clutch, that he's, you know, one of the best guys out there. So got my eye on Mike Conley for sure. And then Dennis Schroeder, Atlanta, you know, with them losing Millsap, I think, and Howard, even though not so much Howard, but Millsap especially, I think his usage is going to go way up. We saw it in the preseason. He'll probably be like 7K to start the year. So he's going to be a guy on a bad team that's going to be taking a ton of shots, steals, assists. And then last but not least, Elfrid Payton. I think this is going to be the full breakout. Last year we saw it like on and off. You know, he was a guy that could get you a 5 or a 50 burger. But, you know, when he was on, he was getting triple doubles. He was involved in all facets of the game. 1 or 2 steals a game, you know, 4 or 5 rebounds, 6, 7 assists, and he can score. I think that team's going to be looking to move the ball up and down the court. So those are like my favorite point guards for this season, you know, to start, that I think are going to be underpriced and we can take advantage of. Then on the flip side, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but, you know, the party's over for Russell Westbrook. You know, we've seen his usage rates come way down. He wasn't even the number 1 guy in the preseason. You know, Paul George kind of took that over. Not necessarily saying that's going to stay, but, you know, with bringing on Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, his usage is just, it's got to drop, especially in the rebound department. Both those guys are much taller and grab rebounds. So, you know, I think he's going to start the year 11, 12K, and I expect him to miss value a lot up at that price range. After that, Chris Paul, great player, and I think he'll help that Houston team. But he was the go-to guy on the Clippers. The whole offense ran through him, and you know, he was always like 10K in that range. And you know, now he's got to take his backseat to Harden, and I don't expect the scoring to be there anymore. The assists will be there, but you know, the scoring and even some of the rebounding he was doing, I don't expect that much. So I think he's going to be a guy that we see kind of miss value early on in the year. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, let's see what you got to say.
Well, let me not mess up since I don't want to delete my article. By the way, I'm writing a book over here. Like, I'm gonna have an article. I'm gonna have an article breaking down team by team. It's gonna be a book. I hope y'all like basketball, because y'all might get bored if y'all don't like basketball. But
no. I did see you sent me one team, Cash. You sent me one team. Oh, that's it, and it's good stuff, man. It's definitely worth it. It might be 8,000 words, whatever, but it's worth it to take a read at it, Nation. So when that's out, we'll let you read that. Go ahead, Cash.
Might have wrote 1,000 words on the one team I sent you. I sent you Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks suck, and I wrote a bunch about them. But you mentioned Elf.
Yeah.
Magic is my team. Like, I love the Magic with a passion. Like, that's my baby. Like, I love them since I was a baby. Since I was 5. I go to the game all the time when I was 5. But you mentioned Elf. The Magic is gonna run. Like you said, they might run. The Magic are gonna run this year.
Yep.
Just be on the lookout. Like, Elfrid Payton and Aaron Gordon on a fast-paced offense. They're gonna be the nuts. Not every night, but they're gonna be the nuts every once. Like, in the right matchup,
yeah,
they're gonna be the nuts. Like, with a fast-paced offense, Elfrid Payton, if only he could make a shot. I mean, I'm biased. I look at it as a biased opinion, but I'm a real sports fan. So when I watch games, like, I don't look at it as a Magic fan. Like, if it's a foul on the Magic, then it's a foul on the Magic. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't look at it like most sports fans. I can't stand when sports fans look at a review and it's clearly an incomplete pass for their team, and they boo it when it's an incomplete pass. I can't stand that. Like that. It's one of my pet peeves. Like I cannot stand that with a passion. I love sports in general. Like I don't just watch my teams because they're my teams. I love NBA. Period. Like I love every team in NBA. I love just the game. It's not my team. I love the game, but they're gonna run. And with Elfrid Payton, if he could make a shot with his quickness, he would be deadly in this league. He can't make a shot, so you don't guard him. You pull off of him, and so he can't run by you. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like if he could make a shot, you would have to get up on him, and then he could beat you with his quickness. Elfrid Payton could be deadly in this league, but he just can't make a shot. We'll see how that turns out. But the Magic are gonna run, so I love the Elfrid Payton call. Like he's gonna be very good in certain matchups at a low price, and
he's gonna be like 6,500.
Yeah, he's gonna be underpriced compared to the studs. Yep. And we've seen it. Like we've all seen it. We played DFS last year. Dude can go off. Like he could have triple doubles on a nightly basis, but he just can't shoot. That's his problem. But another like a point guard I'm looking at that I don't know of many, Murray in Denver. I hope he starts. The kid is uber talented. Like he's super talented. I don't know if he's gonna start or not. I think he should start. He's the most talented point guard there. Moutier, I think, is garbage. So he should start, but I just don't know if he could get the usage on the first team. A part of me wants him to start because he's so good, and a part of me wants him to be on the second unit because of his usage. Be much higher on the second unit than with Jokic and Millsap. But that's a guy I love. The guy in Clippers, what's his name, Paulie?
Milosic Teledosic or something? Nah, I crushed it.
Go look him up.
I will. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Go watch his YouTube highlights.
Yeah.
Like the kid he's from overseas. Like I don't think nobody really knows about him right now. Mm-hmm. But man, the kid has skills. Like the kid has a game. I'm telling you, I don't think he's gonna start to begin the year, but he's so good. Like he is good. He's gonna get in the game, and they can run Beverly as the off guard like they did in Houston last year, as James Harden running the offense. They can run Beverly as the off guard. This kid is good. I'm telling you, just watch out for him. He's very talented, and watch his YouTube highlights. Like the kid is good.
It's Milos Teodosic. And yeah, he's like the new Ricky Rubio combined with white chocolate Jay Williams. That's like how
what?
Yeah. I was about to say Ricky Rubio times 2. Like he's better than Ricky Rubio.
Yep.
And that's a perfect segue. Yeah, oh yeah, he can shoot. Yes, for sure.
What are you segueing into?
Perfect segue, Paulie. Ricky Rubio is another point guard I'm looking at in Utah. We all know Utah lost Hayward, so it's gonna be Ricky Rubio and Gobert. Like like I said last week, I love pick and roll combinations. That's a pick and roll I think I'm gonna love towards the beginning of the year because I don't think nobody's gonna be playing that. Gobert is a stud. I love Gobert to death. He protects that rim, but I think it's gonna be Ricky Rubio. Who else they got? Like Rodney Hood.
You think Utah becomes a faster team now with Ricky Rubio?
No, I think that he will run like every team. He will run in specific situations, like when it's available. But Quinn Snyder doesn't. Quinn Snyder's a smart coach. He's one of the best young coaches we got in this league. It's him and Stevens in Boston. Them are the two best young coaches. He knows that he can't win games running up and down the court. You know what I mean? Like he got to depend on his defense. But Ricky Rubio's going to run when they got the opportunity. But they're going to run a half-court offense, and I have a feeling it's going to be a lot. They don't have nothing else. They got Rodney Hood. Rodney Hood leaves every 4th game with an injury. Don't play Rodney Hood. I mean, he just gets injured all the time. I can't stand him. But I think it's going to be a lot of Ricky Rubio and Gobert. Gobert is a sneaky option. Like I don't think many people are playing him. And with the 3 points on FanDuel, he protects the rim. He could have 7 blocks, like without blinking an eye.
I got 2 point guards I want to ask you about. What do you think about Russell in Brooklyn?
Oh, D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell.
I love him. I love him. I love him and Jeremy Lin because, like Utah, it's the only two guys. Like they lost Lopez, so Lopez is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a nightly basis. It's going to be Jeremy Lin show and D'Angelo Russell show. That's the offense. Like the offense for that team is going to run through both of them, and I'm high on both of them, especially D'Angelo Russell. It's just dependent on who's going to. I think that both of them are point guards naturally, so they can switch up. Like Lin can run the offense and D'Angelo can run the offense. I'm high on both of them because Brooklyn is a high-paced team. That's teams I love to use.
Yep.
I love to use teams against them, and I love to use them.
Yep.
Like I love RHJ. We're not a power forward. Dude's starting power forward. He's not a power forward. He's a small forward body, but he's playing power forward. So anytime you get a guy closer to the rim, it helps him because he's gonna get rebounds. But those are the only three players we use on Brooklyn. I feel.
I got a couple more, but
2 guards and RHJ. Who was the other question?
We'll get to them. The other guy I want to know what you think about is Isaiah Thomas in Cleveland.
He's gonna miss a lot of the season, and we discussed this last week. Like Cleveland is gonna figure out how to play without him, and then they're gonna have to learn all over. They're gonna have to go back to the start and learn how to walk again with him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I think Cleveland's gonna make it out of the East because they will learn eventually how to play. But the offense is gonna run so much through LeBron. Why wouldn't it? You got the best player on the planet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Got the best player on the planet, so why wouldn't you run the offense through him? But I think that he could have big games, but it won't be like Boston. Like he was the offense for Boston, so it won't be like that. Like you like Kyrie. Kyrie is going to be the same thing, but it's a little less because of Hayward. Because Hayward can run. What I was thinking is that it's going to be like the same situation for Kyrie. Hayward can run the point at the power forward, at the small forward like LeBron. So he can handle the ball, and Kyrie can play off the ball, and Kyrie can dominate the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you. Like Kyrie should have a big season, and not just because of the team. It's because he wanted to be the man.
Yep.
So he better prove it. Like you better come to play, my dude. You better come to play because you wanted it. You got it. Let's see it. Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah, especially early on, he's going to be underpriced.
Yeah,
but Damian Lillard too. Like both of them guards out there. Like you used it. Like they're terrible defensively, and they're great offensively. It's a perfect combination for us. Like we use Damian Lillard and we use the point guard against him. We use McCollum and we use the shooting guard against him because both of them are terrible defenders. But man, they can light it up.
And they go fast.
Sure.
And they go fast. Josh, what about some of the guys that you're a little concerned about, though, at point guard? What are some of the guys that maybe you're backing up a little bit? Paulie had mentioned Westbrook, which is obviously, that's a big one because last year he was always, a guy that you pretty much had to play sometimes. So who are some of the guys that you're like a little uneasy about? Oh, and Chris Paul as well, too. That's right, Paulie.
Well, yeah, I was about to say those two. As far as last year, Westbrook is not going to be triple-double Westbrook because they got Paul George. So he's just not going to be the same dude. So don't play Westbrook. If Westbrook is really priced up at the beginning of the year like he should be, like the year should start off with Westbrook and Harden at the same price as it was last year. Like don't play it. Like yes, he could go off and just lose that day. Like he's not going to be the same player. He's not going to be averaging a triple-double a night like he did for 82 games last year. It's just not going to happen. They got players now. They got Carmelo that can catch and shoot, and they got Paul George that can take over a game. Like Paul George is an elite player in this league. Like he can take over the game by himself, like Russell Westbrook can. So on nights where Russell Westbrook might not be feeling it, like his shot might not be going down, he can do his thing because he's the best athlete on the face of this earth, in my opinion. So he can get to the rim and pass it out to George or pass it out to Carmelo, lob it up to Adams. He doesn't have to do everything. So I'm not going to be using Westbrook much at all towards the beginning of the year until his price falls. And Harden the same way. And with Chris Paul, we're talking about point guards. Like Chris Paul is not going to be the Chris Paul of Clippers because James Harden's on the court. So James Harden's going to dominate the ball as much as Chris Paul is going to dominate the ball. So Chris Paul is going to fall off for me. Like, it's good for the team because he's a great point guard. He's a great defender. It's good for team. It's good for real basketball, but not DFS. It's not good. It's not good for
question.
Paul.
You both brought up Chris Paul, and I'm with you guys on that take. But Paulie, when you were talking about it, one thing that popped in my head was, FanDuel did increase the steals, and that's something that Chris Paul against a team like the Suns, like some of these more reckless younger teams, he can get a lot of those. He can rack up a lot. So does that does that make you like give him a slight bump up, or is it still like it's not enough?
I don't think how many steals does the top guy in the NBA average per game? It's maybe 2, right? So and I don't think Chris Paul is the top defensive point guard anymore. I think he's growing in age, and I think that's more of a reputation thing. So I don't think that 1 or 2 extra steals that he may get, is going to make that much difference. His scoring is going to be way down, his rebounds going to be way down. I don't think an extra steal or 2 is really going to close that gap.
Yeah, like Paulie said, he's a great defender, and he still is. But age is going to make him a little slower. So that's the one thing that's undefeated in sports, in life. Age is undefeated. Like, you're going to get older, you're going to get slower. Like, it will never lose.
Except Bartolo Colon.
Except Bartolo Colon. Except Bartolo Colon, the fountain of youth.
Mr. Potato Head. But no, age is undefeated. Like, it's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good for DFS purposes. For real life purposes, for real basketball purposes, it's going to make Houston Rockets better.
Much better.
But for DFS purposes, it's not going to make them better.
No,
but the thing I love is that this is a real life basketball thing. I love basketball more than anything. But D'Antoni is going to have one of them on the court for all 48 minutes, which is perfect. There's no time ever in a game the rest of this year where Harden and Paul is going to be on the bench unless they're blowing out a team by 30. They're always going to, one of them is always going to be on the court, so that offense is always going to run to perfection. I love it. I can't wait for the basketball season to start.
4 days.
I'm with it. But, I'm with it, man. Passion. That's passion right there.
We could obviously talk about every point guard, but I think we covered a good amount of them.
Yeah.
Let's move along to the shooting guards.
Go ahead, Paulie. Start us off with some shooting guards, man. Same thing. Who do we like, and who are the guys we're concerned with?
Okay, so Josh touched on it. James Harden. I think this year is going to be the season of Chris Paul is not playing. Josh Harden 100% own. Everyone is going to dive in and hope that.
You said Josh Harden.
James Harden, my bad. But
you said Josh.
But like Josh said, bringing over Chris Paul is going to affect Harden too. The assists are probably going to come down, and just the overall usage, ball's not going to be his hand as often. So I think in the beginning of the year, he's probably going to be one of the highest priced players out there, maybe with the exception to Westbrook. And I just don't think he's going to be making value on a consistent basis like he did last year. Another shooting guard I'm kind of down on is Klay Thompson. He will have 4 games where he, lights up the world and scores 70 DFS points. But outside of those, we kind of saw him get phased out of that offense a little bit towards the end of the year once Durant and Steph were healthy and really gelling. And, I just don't see him consistently putting up the shot attempts and, the points. And he really doesn't do a ton of other things. He doesn't rebound all that much. Doesn't get a ton of assists. He is a good defender, but it doesn't show up in steals and blocks. So I think Klay Thompson's a guy who's going to open the year around 7K and will not be hitting value except for that one-off game where he's just on fire. So he's a guy I'm down on. DeMar DeRozan is another guy I'm down on. Last year, he was the king of the mid-range shot, and they just let him shoot it all game long. And in the preseason, we've seen Valanciunas, just completely take way more shots. And it seems like they're trying to mold the team into like what Denver did with Jokic and like the Trailblazers with Nurkic, and I think they're trying to get more out of Valanciunas, and I think that DeMar DeRozan is going to start the year up in like the 9K range, and I don't think he's going to do that 40 points a night like he was last year. So he's another guy that I'm a little bit down on. And Dwayne Wade on Cleveland, I think he's going to be another like hot, cold guy. I think he's going to take a lot of rest, and he'll be quick to get pulled in games that they're blowing guys out. And he'll probably start the year around 6.5, 7K. And, maybe when Isaiah Thomas is out, he'll have some decent usage. But I think once Isaiah is back, that team's at full strength. He's going to be a guy that they really just try and keep healthy for the playoffs. And I don't think he's going to get too much usage and fill out too much value. So those are the shooting guards I'm down on. Guys that I am up on are Devin Booker. He's one of my favorite players in all of DFS. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA. And I think that they are going to make a concerted effort to get him going. We saw him just kind of take over at the end of the year. I think he had like a 91-point outburst against Boston. And, once he got going towards the end of the year, he was just like every night, 35, 40 points. Automatic, fast-paced team that's going to be trailing. I really, really like Devin Booker. And I think especially early on, I think he'll be down in like the 6K range, and he can get you 7X very, very easily. Next is Andrew Wiggins. I think with Levine getting out of there, I think he'll become the de facto scoring guard, where he was kind of sharing that role with Levine last year. And I think Jeff Teague, although he may shoot a little bit more than Rubio, I think Rubio, was like a guy who got the offense moving up and down the court a bit more. And I think they're going to do a little bit more of like offensive sets, where they bring the ball up the court slow, and Wiggins is coming off picks and creating his own shot. So I think he's a guy that, if he shoots 20 or more times in a game, he's going to make value. And if he can just get some of the tertiary stats going, like rebounds and assists, he could really be a good value early in the year. And then lastly, Chris Middleton is a guy that I really, really like. He was injured for the beginning of the year, and then when he came back, he really just kind of jumped right back into his old role. He's a young kid, great shooter. And I think this Milwaukee team is on the rise, and I think that, a lot of the offense, either outside shooting or assists, steals, a lot of points are going to come through Chris Middleton in that improved offense. So those are like the mid-range shooting guards that I'm pretty high on this year.
Gotcha. Roku, the only reason the reason I was laughing so hard when you said Josh Harden is because I was just picturing like Josh Hart, like I was picturing Josh and like picturing him as like the James Harden of podcasts. So when you said it, I feel like Cash had like a slight smile on his face when you said Josh Harden. I feel like he almost pictured it in his head for a second, because there was like a slight little smile. Like I like the sound of that, Josh Harden.
Hey, if I could live up to being maybe one of the best in the game at podcasts, I'll take that.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
You know what? There's one other shooting guard I forgot. Let me just give you this.
Yeah.
On the Pacers, Victor Oladipo. This is a guy. He's going to be like 5K to start the year, and he was sidekick to Russell Westbrook last year. The year before that, when he was on the Magic and he was kind of like the guy, he would put up 30, 40 points a night, and he had a couple 60s out there. So going to the Pacers with Paul George gone, I think he's going to be the main usage guy, and especially early in the year, I think you can get some 7, 8Xs out of him at like 5.5K. He's going to be way underpriced, and is a guy that we definitely need to look at week 1 right off the bat.
I'm with it. I have a feeling that there was a home run in the Yankee game.
Yeah. Bottom of the ninth. Greg Bird.
Bird is seeing the ball so good. Like, he's the best hitter in baseball the last 3 weeks.
We're still down by one. We're still down by one with 2 outs. but
yep.
I like it. I'll take it.
Oh yeah. I know, like, it had to be tough for you, Paulie. Like that you had to show your professionalism because you're talking through that, and I know on your screen you're watching.
I saw it.
You're watching Cash's.
I saw it. Now we got Ellsbury up 0-1
Not
count.
even just the home run, but I know that you saw Cashin's reaction as well. Like, I know that when there's a guy that hates your team, there is just a satisfaction when something like that happens, and you get to watch their reaction. So props, bro. Not only did your team hit a home run, not only did you see Cash's reaction of just disgust of that home run and the satisfaction you endured, but you kept it calm and you got through the entire statement. Nobody even would have known.
And I gave you the fire's take at shooting guard to start the year.
Give me the most fire's dopest take. The Victor Oladipo, there it was. Cash, talk to us about some of the guys that you're high on going into the season at shooting guard and some of the guys that you're maybe conservative on.
I'm sad right now just because I know baseball is ending. The way Greg Bird is seeing the ball over the last couple of weeks, he would be in my lineup every day. Like, he's just a plug and play. Dude is seeing the ball so well. And baseball is over. Like, I can't win money in baseball no more. Greg Bird is the best hitter in baseball over the last 3 weeks. I hope y'all know. But let me go to shooting guards. Shooting guards. Yeah. Klay Thompson. You mentioned Klay Thompson. I'm down on Klay Thompson every day. There's not a day every once in a while in the perfect scenario. I'm never high on a player that does nothing but score. The dude goes off for 40, you win money. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. But best believe, if you're playing Klay Thompson every day, I'm winning the money because he ain't doing nothing but scoring. If he has an average game, like 11 points, 12 points, dude does nothing on the basketball court. He plays some defense, which I think he's a little overrated at. I think he's a good defender, but people talk at him like he's the greatest defender in the world, like he's so great. He's a good defender, and the man can shoot. I will never take that away from Klay Thompson. The man can shoot. But he is not a DF. You do not use Klay Thompson in DFS, please. I beg of you. If you use Klay Thompson in DFS, you will lose because he's strictly a scoring player. I do not use players that depend on scoring. You better do something else for me. He will score 40. He'll get 2 rebounds and 1 assist, maybe have a steal. Maybe have a block. Kid does nothing. Don't play Klay Thompson, I beg of you. Ever. Never. Another one, DeRozan. He's almost as bad as Klay. But he does more on the court than, I mean, he might average you 4 rebounds, maybe. That's just, God, I'm not high on guys that do one thing. You got to do it all for me. And then I love you. But you mentioned, I thought he was going to forget about Oladipo. Like, he's a guy I'm high on because he's going back to where he played college, and all they have is him and Turner.
Yep.
Like
that's the offense every night. Like that's what I'm
point.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for guys that like they just like Westbrook last year. Why do you think Westbrook and Harden just went nuts last year? First off, they're some of the best players alive. They were some of the best players breathing, but they didn't have much. Yeah. He doesn't have much. Like, it's him and Turner. Like, he has to score. If he doesn't score, they lose. So I expect Oladipo and Turner's usage to be very high. So I'm high on him. Like, that's a guy I really like. But my favorite shooting guard coming into the league is Justin Holiday. The Chicago Bulls are the worst team in the NBA. Let me just let you know. Like, if you don't know that yet, I'll let you know. Chicago Bulls are the worst team in the NBA.
Worse than Atlanta?
Yes. Worse than Atlanta.
Wow.
This kid has talent. Like, this kid can play. Like, I like to use him last year, but the problem was Jeff Hornacek. Maybe the worst coach in the NBA last year. But a lot of that has to do with Phil Jackson and the triangle offense. Of course, crap. But Justin Holiday is talented. I hope y'all watch him in the preseason. Like, I used him like every day I played, and Chicago was playing. I used him. Watch out, man. His price is gonna be lower than it should be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Don't think many.
Yeah.
Don't think many is gonna play him. But please, I would love for somebody to tell me who's gonna score in Chicago except him.
Lauri Markkanen.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I agree. But other than he's
that,
not. Sure. But he's not really like he needs help. Like he's not really I'm gonna get the ball and just break you down and score. He needs help. Justin Holiday can break you down and do his thing. He can score.
For sure.
I'm loving this guy to begin the year because he's going to be underowned. He's going to be underpriced. And Chicago Bulls suck.
Yep.
They're terrible. They will be the worst team in the NBA at the end of the year, unless injuries happen for some other sorry team. Who's another shooting guard I like? I don't know. A little drunk.
What do you think about? What do you think about? You like CJ McCollum, right?
I do. As far as scoring, yeah. Defense is bad as it gets.
What about on your Magic? Who is the starting shooting guard? Is it going to be Fournier? Is it going to be Ross? Who's going to be starting shooting guard over there?
Well, about my Magic, I don't like
or Simmons.
Simmons is a power forward right now, but he's really a small forward. You're talking about Simmons in Philly?
No, Simmons on Orlando.
Oh, Simmons. Oh, yeah, he's a small forward. He should be starting. Like, as far as talent, Ross is not the player Simmons is. Simmons is an all-around player. Great defensively, great offensively. Ross is good offensively, okay defensively. Ross is a good defender. I mean, I'm not going to take it away from him. He's good, but he's not the player Simmons is. Simmons is more talented than Ross and Fournier. Simmons has more talent than both of them, and he's not starting. He's my call for the most improved player right when they signed him. I was like, this guy's going to be the most improved player because eventually it won't take long. Like, coach might be dumb at the beginning of the year and be like, oh, we're going to go Ross and Fournier, but it's just if you watch the game, Simmons is a better player. Like, he's better than both of them. Both of them. And Fournier, I like Fournier. Fournier's a good shooter. He's a good player. Simmons is better than both of them. Simmons, my thing is how hard you work on the court. And you just look at him. Nobody, like, he works hard. Like, nothing has ever been given.
He went to the Kawhi Leonard school.
Yeah, but nothing's ever been given to this man. Like, he wasn't highly recruited. He wasn't high coming out of college. He's had to work for every single thing that he's got. And best believe, don't nobody work harder than this guy. I love him. Once he becomes into the starting lineup. Like, I can't, I don't know if I can play him much coming off the bench, but once he becomes into the starting lineup, that's my dude. That's another guy in the preseason that I played every day. Like, I play him every day because I just know the talent is there. I watch all these guys. Jonathan Simmons is a great player.
Quick comment on Justin Holiday from the Bulls you were talking about. When Zach LaVine comes back, do you think that's going to knock him down, or do you think they'll play well together?
I mean, it will, but I don't like Zach LaVine as a player that much.
I hear you.
He's all right. I mean, and he can dunk. Like, don't get me wrong. The kid can get up, and he gets up so effortlessly. Like, he gets so high, and he doesn't even work hard. But as far as a basketball player, I'm a little skeptical. I think he's good, but not great.
Okay.
I would prefer Holiday because he's going to be lower price, and it won't take long before the casual fan, as we say, like Sharks, please believe, Sharks is going to be on Holiday.
Oh yeah.
I can promise you. But the casual player will catch on. Like, this kid is good. Like, they're going to see. Like, this Bulls team is terrible. He's got to score for them to have any chance.
I like it. I'm with it, guys. Let's move over to small forward. We got plenty of guys here to talk about. We touched on guys like Paul George and his dynamic. Obviously, we got LeBron at this position. Paulie D, start us off, man. What are some of the guys that you're high on? Some of the guys that you're a little concerned about?
All right, so this guy.
Hold on, Paulie.
Go ahead.
Paulie.
I know. but we were down 0-2 to Cleveland, and we came back. So I'm all right losing game one. It's not the end of the world.
It's kind of becoming like your guys' thing, you know. You lose game one, lose game two, and you know.
and then win 3 in a row.
Yep.
Then win 3 in a row. Yeah.
So I don't know if this guy is a small forward, a point guard, or a power forward, but Giannis, Big Dick, and Antetokounmpo, one of my favorite players already. He's going to be the guy that benefits most from the point change for blocks and steals. just tonight, let me read you off this box score in a preseason game. All right, because this is what this maniac can do. In 27 minutes, he got you 17 points. He got you 6 rebounds. He got you 6 assists. He got you a steal, and he got you 5 blocks. All right, he's doing everything. That's, if you play a full game there, that could be a quadruple double waiting to happen. So Giannis is going to benefit massively on the FanDuel side. And, he's still super, super young. His game's improving, and he's got good pieces around him. And I think that team is on the rise. And he's just, he was always like, he was always on the same slate as Harden. And Harden was always like 1,000 more. Giannis was always like 10K, and then finally they figured out and bumped him up to 11. But like Harden would be like 11.8. And I always played Giannis at the discount. And he always got me there. Like, he was just so dependable because he does so many facets of the game. Like, even if his shot's not dropping, he'll get you there on rebounds, assists, and blocks. And, like, he only had 1 steal tonight. But you better believe he'll have some games with 5 steals and 5 blocks. So I love this kid. I think he's going to emerge as, like, the best player in the league in, like, 3 or 4 years once some of the older guys kind of move on. But love this kid, super talented, and guy that, I hope they underprice because we'll be all over him from the get. Next, Kawhi Leonard. He's, I think he's probably a top 5 player in the NBA. I don't think most agree. He's going to benefit from the point boost in the steals department. He averaged a block a game, but he just gets a ton of usage on that team. He does everything for them. And, I think they're going to need more as that team has gotten a touch older with Parker at the point, who's hurt, and Pau Gasol. Like, he's going to have to do a lot to keep them going. And they got rid of Simmons to Orlando, which I didn't understand. I thought he was like a good guy to like spell Kawhi here and there. And now that guy's gone. So, like, he's going to have to be the Energizer Bunny all over again. He's a guy that's always, like another 1,000 cheaper than Giannis, so he's usually around like the 9K area, and, he can go for 50, 60 on any given night, especially in the pace-up games when he's playing against your Timberwolves, your Golden State Warriors, teams like that. Otto Porter, he's another guy I got my eye on. I really, really love this Wizards team. That core has now been playing with each other for about 4 full seasons now. We saw Porter have some monster games last year, and I just think that he's a well-rounded player that is going to get it done on all ends of the court, and he's a guy that always has a couple steals and blocks in his stat sheet. So I think the point boost there is going to benefit him, and I see this team doing very well, and the Wizards like to play their guys. They get a lot of minutes. It's very consistent. He's a guy that's probably going to be 5, 6K, and I think by midseason he'll be like a 7,500, 8,000 kind of guy. Last guy I'm really high on is Robert Covington. One caveat is with Embiid probably not being on minute restrictions. The rest of the team's usage does go down, but Covington's another guy like Kawhi Leonard that gets steals, gets blocks. He can shoot the 3. He really plays, the full game, and he's going to get a ton of minutes there. And he's a guy that's probably going to be 5, 6K early on, and I really like the looks of this 76ers team. And I think he's just gonna do well and fill up the stat sheet, and especially on FanDuel with the extra points for the blocks and steals. I think he's gonna be super value early on. Guys, I'm down on. I'll just give you 2 quick ones. Jimmy Butler going to Minnesota. I think on the Bulls last year he was by far the best player and had to do everything, and now he's going to a team with a couple of stars. So I just think his usage is going to go down. Sure, he'll have some monster nights, but they got the big cat in the middle there, so like he's going to get his 15, 20 shots no matter what, and it's just not going to be the primary role that Butler had in Chicago. And this is a special one just for my boy Cashin, but LeBron James, He's on the way down. He's getting old. I don't even know if he really wants to be there anymore. I think he's leaving for Cleveland. And, I just think they got to, when they're fully healthy, he's not going to have to do as much. And I just, him at 11, 12K is not going to make value consistently. And he's going to be another guy that does a lot of resting and saving for the playoffs, and not a guy that I'll be looking to play early on until his price comes down.
Okay, Cash. Who are the guys that you're high on? Some of the guys that you're not so high on going into the season. I know you got LeBron on the mind, obviously. What you got?
Well, LeBron's the best player on this planet. He's been that way for a long time now. It's been a long time. I think KD is coming. Like, KD is approaching him, but he's not there yet. But I think that I'm not going to sit here like, as a basketball fan, yeah, of course. I love to watch LeBron, but as DFS purposes, I don't use him as much because his price is high, and like he just he doesn't need to go off with the team they had and the team they got. But towards the beginning of the year, he will. Like, the offense is going to run through him because IT is out and there's no Kyrie. So yeah, but I just don't like to use guys that is popular, that's expensive. Like,
yeah, like at 12K, like 5X is his ceiling. Like, he doesn't have many games over 60 points.
Exactly. That's why I just don't want to use him much. But Big Dick's my favorite DFS player. Like, one of my dudes asked, "What's your top 3 players?
Mm-hmm.
What is going to be your top 3 players on this year?" And Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo was number 1. Like, I think I have more Giannis than anybody, especially on FanDuel.
What was your 2 and 3? What was your 2 and 3 on that list?
It was Giannis, Draymond, Boogie.
Giannis, Draymond, and Boogie. Nice.
Like, it's tough for me to narrow it down to 3. Like, I tweeted him back. Like, I want 10. Like, give me 10. Like, I give you 10 guys right now. I think I was gonna be high on, but we'll get to that at power forward and center. But Giannis just does it all on FanDuel. Like, the guy can go out and get 6 blocks in his sleep. Like, you see his arms. Like, his arms is like Inspector Gadget. Like, he's Inspector Gadget on the court. His arms, his hands, just everything about him. He's a freak. He's a freak of nature. And like Paulie said, he's young and he hasn't hit his ceiling yet. Like, the ceiling isn't there yet. We haven't seen the ceiling yet. Like LeBron, we've seen the ceiling. He's hit his ceiling. He's on the downward spiral. Like, he's coming down. He's been the best player in the world for a long time. Giannis is going up. He has not hit his ceiling yet. I love Giannis Antetokounmpo, but it's not a secret no more. Like, last year, you said, him and Harden was on the same slate. I'm going Giannis 100%. Like, why would I go to James Harden when all these donkeys are going to James Harden? I'm gonna go to Giannis. I love Giannis Antetokounmpo. I love his game. I love that he handles the ball. He runs the offense. He's playing power forward, small forward, point guard. He handles the ball. Like, he runs the offense. He is the man there. Like, if you don't play Giannis, you're just out of your mind. Like, I feel he's going to be the number 1 player this year as far as ownership. But we just hit on another one, like earlier, Simmons for Orlando. Eventually, he should become the starter. Like, he's going to start. How can you not play a guy that's better than the 2 guys you got starting? He is better than Terrence Ross. I promise you on everything on that. He is better than Terrence Ross. And he's also better than Fournier. I love it. Like, he's going to come in. He's going to do work. KD, I love KD with a passion. Like, he's just, if you just watch him play, it's just so effort. Like I said, Levine, how he gets up is effortlessly. Kevin Durant on a basketball court, it's just effortless. Like, he doesn't even work hard, and he just puts it on your ass. Like, he'll just dominate the game. He'll go for 40, 10, and 8, and it's like he didn't even break a sweat out there. Like, he's just not even working hard. Like, I love him. I love him with a passion.
And he's always like 1,000 cheaper than LeBron. KD. He was like sitting around 10K on FanDuel most of the season.
And he's the best player the second he signed with Golden State last year. Like, everybody loves to suck Steph Curry's, you know what? I think Steph Curry is overrated. Steph Curry is not a great basketball player. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter to ever for me to ever lay my eyes on. I will never take that away from him. Steph Curry is the best shooter ever. Ever. Period. There's nobody that's a better shooter. He can come off the dribble, just wherever. He can just launch from half court. He's the best shooter ever. Steph Curry is not a great basketball player. He cannot play defense to save his life. He's not a great facilitator. He's a great shooter. He's great. But the second KD signed with them, he was the best player on the team. KD is the second best player walking this planet right now as we speak. And there's nobody even close. Like, really? LeBron is number 1, KD is number 2, and everybody else can't even reach their nuts to touch them because they're so far ahead of them. Like, they can't even touch them.
You don't got Westbrook or Harden up in that range, or Kawhi?
No.
That's
and they're great.
I like that.
They're great, but they can't touch them. Like, the things, like, how they can dominate a game, it's just, and I'm the biggest fan of Westbrook. Like I told you, he's my favorite player to watch. But he's just not on that level as far as just dominating the game.
Yep, I agree. I agree. But I don't think many people would.
And that's fine. You know what I say? I say the chalk. So I'll go to what I see. What I see on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, 100%, man. Who are some of the guys that you're a little off?
I mean, he mentioned it. Jimmy Butler. I'm kind of... Yeah. Well, I think Jimmy Butler is great. It's just how much has Cat improved in the offseason? What is Teague more of a shooting guard, like more of a shooting point guard, more of an offensive point guard? What is he going to take away from Jimmy Butler? Mm-hmm. I got to see it. That's a situation I need to see on the court. Like, I hope Cat worked in the summer to improve. Cat is my favorite player on the team. Jimmy Butler is more of a team guy. Like, Jimmy Butler's a guy that I love. I love guys that work hard and play their ass off. I hate guys that quit, like Andre Drummond. Oh my God, I can't stand him. If Andre Drummond is getting his ass handed to him by another center, he'll just quit and go pound the corner like a little baby. Jimmy Butler, there's just certain players. Draymond Green, Russell Westbrook, guys with killer instinct. You're not going to do nothing on this court that's going to make me lose this game. I'm going to do everything in my power to win this game. Jimmy Butler is one of those guys, but DFS-wise, it's a different story. Like, DFS and real life is just two different things. Like, I love Jimmy Butler as a real-life player, but on this team, is going to be DFS viable at his price to begin the year? I don't think so.
No, I'm with it, man. I'm definitely with it. Let's move on over to power forwards here, Paulie. I want you to start us off. We got Millsap's on a different team. That's obviously bad news for the Hawks, but it's good news for, well, actually, you tell us. Is it good news or bad news? He's playing with Jokic, so that's kind of a touchy subject. Paulie.
I haven't seen enough to give you like a solid opinion, but I don't see how it can hurt Millsap, being on a better team with guys that can pass the ball. But I don't think he's going to be as consistent. I think there's going to be nights where he just kind of disappears, because that team's just got loads and loads of talent. We didn't even mention Wilson Chandler in the small forwards, but that dude's talented. I mean, they just got a ton of guys like Hernan Gomez and like Plumlee. I mean, the Manimal. I mean, they just got a ton. I don't understand why they even went out and got Millsap, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. I guess Millsap is gonna come down. Like, he's not gonna be worth the 8K that he was last year on FanDuel. He's just not going to be the go-to guy or even the number 2. So I don't see how he can make value up there. He's probably going to have to come down to the 5.5, 6K range. So he's a guy I'm definitely down on.
Let me intersect before you go to your next guys.
All right.
Because I'll forget, because I'm kind of...
Go ahead, bro. Just do it.
Paul Millsap will disappear on the court. Like, we've seen it. Last year in Atlanta, with him, one of the best players on the court, he will disappear. Paul Millsap will help this Denver team. This Denver team is one of my favorite teams coming into the year. It's Philly, Denver, Minnesota, as far as the teams that I'm excited to watch. Mm-hmm. But the team is so deep. Yeah. Like, you'll see it in my article when I write about them. Like,
crazy.
I'm gonna write that sober. Yeah. But they got Trey Lyles. They have Trey Lyles starting over Fareed. I mean, on the second unit over Fareed, which is out of like, it makes no sense to me. Like, why would you put a guy on the court that is not that good? He's young. He's still developing. Fareed is one of my dudes.
Yeah.
As you can hear, I love dudes that play hard. Fareed plays hard as a motherfucker. Fareed plays so hard. Like, I love Fareed on the basketball court. I love guys that work. But yeah, Millsap will disappear. Do not play Millsap in DFS. Millsap will help the Denver Nuggets, but he will not be a DFS player for us. Please.
Yep.
Go ahead, Paulie.
So the number one power forward early season value is Kristaps Porzingis of the New York Knicks. Carmelo out of there. Rose out of there. His team, he's by far the best player on this team, and he does everything. Blocks, steals, three-pointers, rebounds. I mean, the point boost on FanDuel with the blocks and steals, the usage jump that this guy's going to have. He's probably going to be like 7K early on, and by midseason, he may be like a 9, 10K guy. So Kristaps Porzingis, power forward, first fucking slate. We are on this dude, Kristaps Porzingis. Blake Griffin's an interesting one.
Kristaps Porzingis?
The zinger, man.
Kristaps Porzingis. I like that, bro.
Blake Griffin, Clippers. I do not think this guy can do it on his own. I think he needs a guy like Chris Paul to create spots for him, run the pick and roll, and the point guard that they got from Houston, missing his name, but
Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly, like, he is not a facilitator; he's a defensive specialist, and
that's why this foreign guy should be starting at point guard.
But he's not going to right away, I don't think, and maybe that guy will emerge. But Blake Griffin, he's probably going to be one of the higher priced power forwards, and I'm way down on him. I'm way down on the Clippers. When you lose a guy like Chris Paul, who was their whole team and got everyone the shots where they needed them, alley-oop city, lob city, they used to call him, like, I think that's all gone, and I think Blake Griffin is going to come down. Who else? Power forward. You can't go too much further without mentioning Anthony Davis. That's a guy that's going to benefit tremendously from the blocks and the steals boost. And I mean, even without that, he was probably the guy capable of putting up 100 fantasy points on any given night. And I think Boogie coming there, hurt him a bit. But they figured out how to just both get theirs, and I think there'll be alternating nights where one gets a lot more. But they've shown in the preseason they can both score 50 in one night. If one of them is taking the night off, that guy becomes automatic chalk and a must play. But he's just, that team is going to be playing super, super fast, and he's going to be getting blocks, rebounds, points all over the place. And, it's tough matchup for any team, those two big guys. And, this is now going to be his fourth year in the league. I think he's going to really bust out. And, a guy that I really like playing because he, unless he gets injured, he really doesn't let you down. So Anthony Davis for sure. Draymond Green you mentioned, but I just love him. He's another guy that's going to benefit tremendously on FanDuel. He gets steals and blocks, and like you said, he just has a ton of heart, and he's the heart of that team, and has the will to win, and that team's just so good, and he's a guy that gets you 30 at halftime, and you just hope that they don't blow the team out by too bad, and he gets the minutes in the fourth to get you to 5-6x. But Draymond Green going to benefit tremendously from the point boost, and he's just on the best team in the world right now, and he's a guy that you got to be playing because he's probably going to be like 8K early on. He's another guy that should probably be 10K by the middle of the season. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, Draymond, like I said, I think he's going to be my second highest. It's hard for me to project top three, like really, it's hard. Yeah. But I think he's going to be my second highest owned guy because he's the forgotten man. Before like I said earlier when we was discussing it, KD was the best player on the team the minute he signed his name on that paper. He's the best player on the team. I thought, as far as basketball-wise, Draymond was the best player on that team before KD became. Draymond is a better player to me than Steph Curry. I know everybody loves, especially kids, like it just like everybody loves Steph Curry because he can shoot, and I will never take that away from him. He is the greatest shooter I've ever seen on a basketball court. He's not a great basketball player. He is a great shooter, which makes him great on a basketball court because you if you don't pull up on Steph Curry, he's gonna pull up from 30 and he's gonna drain them. Like he's gonna drain them. He's gonna shoot 50% from 30 feet, which I mean, the dude, he's amazing. But Draymond Green does everything. He's the forgotten man. This team is ridiculously, the talent on the court is just insane. You better not leave Clay. He might be the second best shooter right now in the NBA. Steph is number one. You don't leave Steph. You don't leave Clay. You're gonna leave KD? Please leave KD. This is the man you leave wide open on the court. Like you just forget about this man. And he does everything. He rebounds, he assists, he blocks, he steals, he scores. He can run the point guard if you want him to. Like he can do everything on the basketball court. I am biased towards players that do everything on a basketball court. I'm a basketball fan by nature. So if I see a guy that does just everything, like he can do everything on the court, I'm gonna just be attracted to him. He's the forgotten man. Like you forget about him, he's gonna put in work, and he's gonna grab 10 rebounds. He's gonna get 7 assists. He's gonna get 3 steals. He's gonna get a block or 2. Like, dude is the perfect combination for the new scoring system on FanDuel. Like, he's just sure. Perfect. Like that's why I think I'm gonna have so much Draymond, because more people's gonna go to KD. Like, oh, KD is great. KD is great. So I'm gonna play him. Steph Curry. Oh my God, Steph Curry. Let's just on Steph Curry. He can shoot. Be my guest. I'm going to Draymond. Let's go. I'm ready to go to war. Like y'all use y'all guys, and yeah, of course, y'all gonna beat me on any given night. But for the most part, my guy's gonna be more consistent. Like he doesn't have to have his shot to fall to put in work. Like he's gonna do everything on the court. So I'm going to Draymond and AD. Yeah. While Boogie coming over dropped AD a little bit per game, the per minute was still there. Like it didn't drop much. His fantasy points per minute. I feel that I'm gonna have a lot of Boogie and Anthony Davis on a nightly basis because people is gonna think like, oh man, Boogie's there, so he's gonna take away from AD. AD is there, he's gonna take away from Boogie. When reality is, they're still 2 of the best players, so they're still gonna put in work. And them 2 it's a 3-man team there. It's him, Boogie, and Drew. That's the 3-man team. Like everything is gonna run through them. Like it happened in the preseason game the other day. Like they scored, I don't know, like 70-something points of the 100 they scored. Look for that on a nightly basis. That's gonna happen. And we all know that AD can get 8 blocks. He's gonna average maybe 3 blocks a game. So those 3 points. Say he has a big game and he has 8 blocks. 8 blocks times 3, plus all the usage he's gonna get on offense. Plus all the rebounds he's going to get. I mean, how can you not love a guy that's just going to go off for you on a nightly basis? Because he just has to.
Josh, I got to cut you off real quick. We got an owl. Our boy, Cam, he's in 50th place right now in that big FanDuel tourney. And he's rocking with Juwan Evans from the cheat sheet, who's got 31 points.
31. I'm watching that. My God.
And Cam is in 52nd, and a lot of guys are done ahead of him. I mean, there's other guys he won't be able to catch, but he's got a sweat for the top 10, my man Cam. And Josh, you ain't too far behind at 133, but you only got Curry left, and I don't think he's going to play too much more.
He has 31 real-life points or 31 fantasy points?
DFS points at the half.
Oh, I was about to 2%. Say, damn!
3K on FanDuel, 2%. Juwan Evans. Paulie D's cheat sheet. So far, you had Ingram on the cheat sheet. He's got 22 points at the half. You've had Mark Haken, or how do you say his name?
Laurie Markkanen.
Markkanen. Laurie Markkanen, 3.6, another 2% of 27.9. Got it from the cheat sheet. Got to give you your props, bro. When it's due. Got to give you your props. Anyway.
Yeah, man, I got screwed by my Orlando guys. Just didn't do nothing.
Yeah, they didn't get the minutes they were supposed to. They shut them down.
Yeah,
they did the third.
Yeah, in the second half, they just didn't get it there. So I'm not going to be towards the top, but I hope Cam gets there.
Props to Cam.
Power forward. Aaron Gordon, please.
Yeah.
The Magic are going to run. In the open court, Aaron Gordon, he's an athletic freak. Please get him in. Like, you stack Elfrid and you stack Gordon. Like, they're going to put in work because this team is going to run. That's what he wants to do. Like, coach wants to run. Like, he wants to run. He knows he's a smart dude. I mean, Coach Frank, he's a smart dude. He knows that the only way they got a chance to win is to run and use their athleticism because they got it on the court. Besides Vucevic, which he's a stud in the half-court offense. Like, he can make a shot. He can go on the post. He can do it all. But to win games, they need to run. And Elfrid Payton and Aaron Gordon in the open court, let me have some. I'll take it. If nobody else wants to go there, give it to me. And if Aaron Gordon works on his game, the potential is there to be great. Like, he has the potential to be great. So
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Let's.
Oh, hold on. I got one more. Sorry.
Sorry. Good point.
Oh,
please,
yeah, that's
this
clutch.
dude's a beast.
He's a beast.
The only thing that sucks about Philly is that Embiid is just gonna have all the usage, which he should. I'm not saying don't give Embiid the usage, but Saric
and Simmons now too.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is my favorite team coming into the year. Like,
real good team.
I can't wait to watch them play. And Fultz, which I think he's going to take a little time, but in a couple years, they're going to be the cream of the crop in the East, I feel. Like, LeBron and the Cavs going to break up. Kyrie's going to break down because he's getting older. His knee's going to break down. He's going to break down. This
After
team
he wins us all the
East,
money this year.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be good this year. But this team in the East, they're coming. Like, let me tell you, if they keep this young core, they're coming, bro. Don't get it twisted. This team will be the best team in the East if they keep this core.
Agreed.
I like the call.
I think they're a year away.
I like that. I like the call. Let's wrap this up here with centers. Paulie D, give us the breakdown.
Center, such a deep position. At the very top, we got Boogie, who we already mentioned. We'll see where he opens at price. If he's anywhere near 10K, just play him. If they get him up over 11.5, then we got to think about it, match up, and who's playing, who's not. But Josh already mentioned Rudy Gobert. He's like the most unappreciated player in DFS. And with the boost in the blocks, Rudy Gobert is going to be super valuable. He was pretty much around 8K for most of the season. And at the end, I mean, he was just putting up 50s night after night. And now he's been getting 3 points for blocks. And Hayward is gone. He's going to be needed more. I think he could be one of the most improved and DFS-centric centers that we need to jump on early in the year. Miles Turner, Indiana, he's going to be a guy that's like 6,500. He's going to be taking way more shots with Paul George out of there. And, I think they want to really make him the guy. So Miles Turner, especially early on when he's underpriced, really, really like him. And Joel Embiid, we've mentioned a few times. If that minute restriction is gone and he's just playing 35 minutes a game, last year he averaged 1.5 points per minute. And they never let him go more than 30. If he's going 40, that's going to be 60 per night, and that wasn't with the block and steal increase. If he stays healthy, this guy's one of the most talented centers in the league. Love him. Nick Vucevic, they said they want him to start shooting threes. I saw him knock down a couple. He's a really good shooter. I think the Magic as a whole are on the rise, and he's another guy that you're going to get around 6K. Definitely like him. And then Clint Capella is a guy we all got to keep our eye on early. He may be like 5K. And with Chris Paul running the pick and roll and actually throwing to the roll as opposed to the way Harden would just mostly take his own shot, I think points, rebounds, all that's on its way up. Center is just an important position with the blocks getting the increase, especially on DraftKings. you're going to want to try and get 3 of them into the same lineup, a guy that's center forward eligible in the forward spot, one in the flex, and one at center. Because these guys, you can just count on them to get a handful of blocks, all the rebounds and points. The double-doubles waiting to happen. So center's a really important position. I'll close it out on the positive side with Enes Kanter. For some reason, coach on the Thunder just didn't like this guy. I mean, he was like a point-scoring machine, and I never understood why he was coming off the bench and why he didn't play longer, why he wasn't in ever at the end of games. And, I think it's because he doesn't play much D. And, that coach over there, that's what he's all about. So coming down to the Knicks, he probably, best or second best player to Porzingis, and a guy that's just going to get a ton more shots, a ton more minutes. He's a guy early on. He'll probably be 5K as well, and he's going to crush value early in the season. In the negative, Dwight Howard going to Charlotte. I didn't like him before, but now he's on a significantly better team that's got a ton of depth, and I just don't see him, being the number 1, the number 2, or even the number 3 guy. And he's getting older, so he's a guy that I'm down on. And I hate to say this, but Nikola Jokic, I just, I don't see him putting up the numbers like last year because that team is just so deep. And, like Josh said earlier, the secret's out. He had a couple massive duds that, scared people off of him early in the year. And then, once outside of, those 3 games, he was a lock for a triple-double or 50 points a night. And, he was, 6K. Then they bumped him up to 8, and then finally to 10, then 11.5. So I'm assuming he's going to start in the 11K range. And I just think this team is so deep. Adding Millsap, another power forward that'll grab rebounds and assists and shoots. I don't think, I think his price needs to come down. And I really hate to say that. He's one of the most exciting players in the league. But if he's priced above 10K, I don't see it on a consistent basis.
Before you go, Cash, real quick, we got Cam. He needs our support right now. He's got 316. That's his score. Looks like he's 173rd place out of 20,109. And he's got another one of Paulie's guys, Tyrone Wallace. He's got Jawan Evans, Steph Curry, and I can't see who else he's got, but he's still got some guys active. So he asked us all to look at the staff chat, and so instead I figured I would just tell you guys. All right, Cash, talk to us about some centers.
You got me wanting to go look at.
Now I got
oh, wow. That's a good spot right there, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm winning some money over here. I'm winning some money over here. A little bit of money over here. I'm 7th place in a $2 single entry.
Nice.
What it is? There you go.
But is Curry gonna keep playing? I don't know.
Probably done. I don't know. He's only got 18 minutes. He could come back out, but I doubt it.
Maybe. Who knows? Hopefully he plays in the 4th. Oh my God, Drummond. I hate Drummond so
56.
much. Drummond is. Let me just tell y'all. Drummond is he's a pussycat. Let me say he's a pussycat. Like he just quits on the basketball court. Like if he's not putting in his work, he's getting his ass handed to him. He just quits. I hate Drummond.
Yep.
But he did put up 56 for me tonight. But I had Boogie in, but I switched to him when I seen Boogie was not playing. But Jokic, Jokic is probably top 3 of me, a favorite player to watch as far as playing basketball. He is a point guard stuck in a center's body. Like, I love him, but I don't think he's gonna get the minutes. This team is this is the deepest team in the league. There's not a team deeper as far as 1 to 15. Like there's better teams, of course, that has better players, but from 1 to 15, there's not a deeper team in this league than Denver Nuggets. Which I'm gonna have in my article when I release it. It's not gonna help us in DFS. Like it helps as far as basketball, real life, but DFS it doesn't help. Like if the worst thing that happened for me in the offseason was them re-signing Plumlee because I just knew off bat if Plumlee comes in and plays well, he's going to take minutes away from Jokic. And, I mean, I just love Jokic. But Embiid is the best center in the league. Period. There's no discussion for me. Boogie, I'm the biggest Boogie fan in the world. Like, Boogie was my highest owned player last year. I didn't own anybody above Boogie last year. But Embiid is the best center in the league. He can step out and hit threes. He can go in the post and dominate you. He can just do it all. And he's not going to be on a minutes limit, I don't think. They just gave him that big extension. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. But the usage will be insane. Like, me picking my top 3 was hard because I wanted Embiid so bad. But I didn't put him in there because I think I want to go with guys that are lower owned. Like, if you notice, my top 3, while Big Dick will be high owned, Draymond, I don't think will be high owned on a nightly basis, and Boogie, because of AD, won't be high owned on a nightly basis. So that's who I flock to. Like, I want to flock to the guys that can go off, the guys that are great, that are not going to be as high owned. I expect Embiid to be very high owned this year.
Yeah.
Because there's no hiding it. Like, he is super talent. Like, he's a super talent on the court. So it's going to be tough for me. Dwight Howard, I think this will be his best year since leaving Orlando, because this is the coach that coached him in Orlando, so he knows what he's good at. But I still don't feel that Dwight Howard's going to win you tournaments regularly. Like, every once in a while, yeah, maybe he can, because he's gonna rebound the ball. He's gonna be a rebounding machine. But on a nightly basis, he's gonna win you tournaments. Nah, I don't think so. Center, my favorite center, maybe to use will be behind Boogie, will be Cat, because people is going to be scared of Cat. Everything is a wait and see game for me, because I don't know how the team is going to work, because everything is so new this year, because so much player movement. Yeah. But if Cat worked in the summer, like, I'm gonna be high on him if he comes out and starts balling. Vucevic, same way. He's a good rebounder, and he can step out and make shots. He's a half-court player. He's not a fast break player, which they want to do. So I'm just going to have to wait and see. He's going to step out and make threes because coach wants him to. And he can. Like, he's a great shooter. Yep. And he can rebound. He's a double. Like, he's a guy 2 years ago that I used all the time because nobody was using him. And he was going out getting a double-double for me all the time. Like, on a nightly basis, he's getting double-doubles. But the team is more talented now, and they want to run. So I'm hesitant. Yeah, just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, they played Gordon at center in the second last preseason game. Try him out there.
Yeah, but one of my favorite sneaky options is his backup, Bismack, on FanDuel, because Bismack, he's a defensive machine, and with this new scoring, he can go out and get you 8 blocks. I mean, 8 times 3. He's already busting value for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, without doing anything else on the court, just straight blocks. He's beating value for you. So he's a sneaky option for me. Like, if I love my lineup and I got a punt center, I think I'm gonna be punting him. I mean, he's not. Don't get me wrong. He's not gonna do it every night, but he can step in on the court and get 8 blocks for you. Like, that's a reality. Like, that can happen. Sure. So you always got to look for sneaky options that can put it in for you. That's going to be low owned. That's going to win. Like, that's a tournament winning. That's a tournament winning player right there. Yep. Like, if you have Bismack at 2% and he goes for 30 because he's getting a whole bunch of blocks, and let's just say Vucevic's not having a good game, coach is not scared to play Bismack. I mean, Bismack's a player. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just me. I'm trying to get first or last. That's what it is. Yep.
I like it. Yeah, man. I like it, man. This was, again, man, as usual, a lot of fun for me, man. I always have a blast talking NBA, listening to you guys talk about the NBA a little bit, and it's got me in a mood.
We always run long because I love to run my mouth. But no, basketball is my shit. Let me just curse right now. Basketball is my shit.
Oh, man, you're one of a kind, bro. I tell you what, man. I love doing shows.
I get so excited. I'm so ready.
I love it, though. I love it because we all get excited. See, that's passion, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you get with the White State community. That's passion right there. And by the way, Paulie, that NBA preseason cheat sheet, man, You crushed that.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
I wish I would have looked at it. I mean, what
legit.
The fuck? I didn't even get to look at it. I was out with my family. I didn't get to look at it.
Oh man, that cheat sheet was legit. And like it was just like me. Listen, Paulie and I talked about like I asked Paulie like send me a design and I'm gonna create it and have you just update it. And like he did. He was like, listen, I'm just gonna test it out today. I'm gonna do a preseason one, throw it up there real quick, free for the nation because I love the nation. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I love the nation too. Let's do it. Let's make it free. Let's put it out. And my gosh, dude. You hit the nuts, dude. Like Cam is freaking out. Cam is freaking out right now because he's sweating. And yo, we love you, Cam. We're sweating with you, bro. But he's in the chat. He's praising you the entire show, Paulie. I don't even think you're in the chat right now. He's been praising you throughout the entire show. And even
man, just let Cam know. Like I know that Cam he's not as big on NBA, but just wait, Cam. We're gonna get you there, my dude. We're gonna get you there. Let's get it. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that money this year. I'm telling you, we getting that money.
Yo, he might get there tonight, man. That team with the 4 guys is very, very close.
Let's go. Let's do it for the nation. Let's do it, Cam. Let's do it for the nation. Cash, sounds like you're having a good night too, man. Paulie, I know you. I don't even have to ask you, bro, because that cheat sheet was fire. I literally picked blindly from your sheet. I did no research today. Today I was also out with my family. I said, Paulie, I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna do it. I threw a lineup together, and I am doing well as well. So I mean, everybody that used your sheet is doing well. So I mean, I don't think it gets any harder than that. And that's just some of the stuff we're going to be offering during the regular season here for basketball, man. You're going to have Cash writing his GPP articles Monday through Friday. He's going to be still doing his NFL stuff on the Y stream and all that with us too on Saturdays. Paulie D is going to be doing those cheat sheets for us in addition to his football article. And that's just some of the stuff you get with the Y Stake Nation, my man. So tomorrow, for those of you that are signed up, that are members of the Y Stake Nation, we are doing the NFL Y stream. That's the premium show. It will not be free. It'll be Patio Joe hosting with Cash and Paulie D. That'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then, of course, that's it. Next week is the regular season starts up. So Monday night, we will be recording the first NBA DFS podcast for the regular season. And we'll be releasing that late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So, Paulie, Cash, as always, guys, man, I appreciate y'all making some time for us here at the Nation, and it's always a blast, man. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
Well,
see you
tomorrow. What I
tomorrow.
gotta say about NFL, like, if y'all ain't signed up, we got a week package, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Go sign up for a week because I'm about to get it in right after the show. We're getting it in. Like, we're getting it in. Like, I'm getting our NFL in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Still very much excited for that. And that show will be tomorrow at 2 p.m., guys, so you don't want to miss it. All right, guys. Head over to ystake.com. Remember, if you guys win, do us a favor. Hit us up on Twitter. Hashtag, I was up top. Hashtag Hootie Hoo for Paulie, for Cash, for myself, the entire Ystake Nation. And for you too, Cam. Do your thing, Cam. Go take it down, bro. You deserve it, man. You deserve it. You just graduated from school and everything, man. You deserve it. So for Paulie, for Cash, myself, the entire nation, as always, good luck.
Sign up for NBA. We're going to get that money, baby. We're getting that money. We're getting that money in NBA.